What were you hoping to accomplish today coming down here to a fountain?
Well, it's not just today, but look, this is our legislative work period in August. I think some of the media nationally say we're on recess. Recess is a whole lot more fun whenever you're in grade school. This is a work period. Traveling throughout the 34 counties that I represent, which is 1/3 of the state's landmass of the state of Illinois, talking about the big, beautiful bill for one thing, and going to different groups, whether it's city council, police departments. We've met with roundtables on certain areas around the state. At the end of last week, we went up the eastern part of the state to the northern part of my district, and so we were in Mattoon, and we were in Charleston, Effingham, all of those. And yesterday we were in McLeansboro and Harrisburg and Olney. Now we'll come over here to the Metro East, all the time talking and explaining and answering any questions. But not only but what we've got to work on right now, when we get back, we know that the part of the ag bill that was not in the big, beautiful bill that still needs to get done, we'll be working on that through and trying to get that marked up through September. We've got a lot of things we're doing with the VA committee, which I'm chairman of, and we'll be working on several issues there. Mainly, there's some issues that we're trying to deal with to make sure the community care is being done correctly. The VA's had a little trouble making sure that that's being done correctly. Also making sure that the money, we're going to be working on the budgets for distribution. Hopefully there's 12 budget bills we try to get passed. That's always a challenge to try to get that done, especially with a small majority.
So when you're talking about the ag part of the big, beautiful bill, I know we were also talking about a farm bill that goes back a number of years at this point. So are those hand in hand, or are they separate?
They are. What we were able to do, and this is what the advantage of that is, and that's what I want the people, that's another thing. I've been going out with farm bureaus so they understand this. We'd already passed, now remember, the largest portion of the farm bill, people don't realize this, all but 16% actually deals with SNAP and nutrition. Okay, only 16% actually deals with agriculture. But we were able to get that in the big, beautiful bill, separate from the farm bill, or as part of the other one. We were also able to put a lot of the safety net things involved with the crop insurance, some investment as far as research for ag, and a lot of the things that could tie to the budget. The other things we have to do now is we go back, and there are some things that were technical in nature but didn't tie and wouldn't meet the criteria that had to be in reconciliation. We're going to go back, and it'll be a mini farm bill that we will catch up and then put it all together.
I've done a lot of reporting on the SNAP program here in Southern Illinois, and there were a lot of people when the USDA made some of their initial grant cuts, they were kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place. I'm curious if you just have any statements to those SNAP programs in particular. A lot of them were farm-to-table programs.
Right.
About.
I'm glad that the farm-to-table program that you were talking about, what that was done is that was just implemented during COVID. And the reason we did that is so that we could meet the needs of the children that normally received during the school lunch program. COVID's over, school lunch program's back. It was then all rolled back into the school lunch program.
The big, beautiful bill, I see there's a lot of people that have been around town holding signs specifically about the big, beautiful bill. Is there anything you think that people misunderstand, the biggest thing about the big bill?
I think there's several things. One is that rural hospitals will not be cut. We've actually shown that they're not going to be cut. Matter of fact, rural hospitals get about $54 billion in new distribution funds around this nation. And then that people, let me tell you that people on Medicaid, if you qualify for Medicaid, you're not being cut. If you're not a legal citizen, you won't be able to get it. If you are between the ages of 18 and 65, if you are not pregnant and don't have a child under 12, if you're not mentally or physically disabled, there are work requirements, 20 hours a week. That can be met by doing volunteer work, working or searching for work, or also by using your education period. So if you're taking classes, and that adds up to 20 hours that you're doing that, you meet the qualifications. This is wise because it allows for those who need it most to receive it, and that not allowing for abuses that might take it away from somebody who does need it. And so I think it's the best way to handle it. Let me tell you that the bill itself also, we would have been in really bad shape had it not passed because the 2017 tax cuts would have fell off. That would have been about 24 to 27% tax increase for most households. Now, no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, and no tax on interest on new cars that are bought.
Fallon, Southern Illinois, a lot of families, also a big military connection.
bet.
I know there's a lot of folks who have been concerned about the VA. I know there's been folks that have been concerned about the GI Bill and maybe the future of that. I've spoke with some residents who are veterans who say that they have had problems accessing their support to go to college or go forward from there. What would you say to them, or what comments do you have about that?
If they actually have problems, we have staff right here in my district office that can help them, because a GI Bill was created for them to work for them correctly. We're doing everything through my office and through my committee, where I'm chairman, to try to make sure that everything that we plan for with the GI Bill, regardless of which GI Bill you have, because remember there's several of them that have changed over the years, but you tie that with the veteran services. We have some of the veteran services in my district, one with Marion, at any rate, the St. Louis VA, as well as Jefferson Barracks. We have the access for our veterans, and as a large veteran community as we have here around the St. Louis Metro East area, the services are available. We want to help. Our office can help.
There's been a number of people that are around here today that are showing up. I just don't know if you have any comments for them.
Well, you know what? It's a free country. They can have their opinion, and know this. We're going out. We're meeting with people. We are in a mode that we have to have certain criteria for the safety aspects of free speech, and we're going to make sure we follow the guidelines that's set forth by us from Washington.
Understood. And can I ask you another question? Did you know that that door was locked?
I did not know that door was locked.
Because when I came, the door was locked,
Okay.
and there was a number of people that were standing outside,
Okay, I
and
did
were
not
not
know
were not able to get in. I wanted to ask you, saying that, to the folks that were waiting outside that went and grabbed the door and jiggled it and it was locked.
Well, this was a meeting between the mayor, the city manager, and the police officers. So this was not an open meeting per se.
Thank you. I appreciate
you.
that. And any other comments? Anything else
None
you'd
at
like
all.
to say?
Thank
Okay.
you.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you.